working on this side window. The glass separated from the lift mechanism. It's actually held up by this sticky plastic that covers the window opening. Otherwise it would fall right down. Anyway, I'm trying to get the track to come up, pulling on it. When I hit the power, you can hear like the motor's trying to activate. And I lift, even when I push the button, I can't get it to come up. So that's where I'm at right now. So I just finished removing the entire regulator. Could not get the motor to run. It doesn't say Ford on it, so it might be an aftermarket already. Can't see any Ford identification on it, so I would guess it's aftermarket. If that really matters. But I'm going to hook it up. Well, I'm going to take the motor off and then plug it in and see if it does anything. Alright, so I plugged the window motor back in. Let's try it out. It runs. So is it a weak motor? Or is there something wrong with the regulator? This coil spring has a lot of tension. When I broke the motor loose, this thing snapped and caught my finger. It didn't feel pleasant at all. Just wonder if there's something bent, or why that motor would not move this. The thing is pivoting like it's supposed to, I believe. Apparently the window, it feels like silicone that attaches this to the window, to the glass. I put it back together. I want to see what happens. Push this button. Nothing's going on. I put it back together, got the motor back on the regulator. I want to see what happens when I run the control here. It works. I cleaned the thick dry grease off the spur gear. Made sure to make this little shaft part of it clean, because that spins in this bushing here. Then the other thing, the surface of the spur gear rides against this area here, so I want to get that dried grease cleaned off and put fresh new grease in there, make everything as slippery as I can. And I can see where something rubs on here, so that should be lubricated. And then same here is a big path where you can see something rides against. So I'll put grease on there so everything nice and slippery. Alright, got the wheel bearing grease, put some of that on here. Then there's this plastic slide. This is what rides against the other side of this gear plate. So grease on there, a bunch of grease on the spur gear. Now I'll put it back together. This thing's under tension, so you gotta be careful. Once the gear is popped in place and it holds itself, just be careful not to let the motor and spur gear pop out, otherwise it'll snap on you. I already put grease on that slide, but I'll put a little more right on this plate. Don't want to gob it on too thick, otherwise it might get somewhere where you don't want it. I plugged it back in, tested it again, and it seems to work fine. One more thing to grease, actually two things. Grease this bottom track and then this upper track as well. Grease that in there is pretty firm, so it's not doing a very good job, so it's creating a lot of friction. Well, you have your finger all covered in wheel bearing grease. Smear a bunch in this area. There's two holes drilled through this plate so that it allows grease to go through to get in between the two plates. And then work it in, and then move this thing about. That'll spread the grease around to the inside. Then come back, smear it in again, it'll push more grease through, and then just keep working it, pivoting this thing back and forth. And then flip it over, do it on the other side as well. There's two more access holes to the other side to get grease in between here. And I push some grease in on this ball joint here. And I think that the extent of it. So yeah, I got a bunch of grease shoved in here, and then underside of this track. So everything that sees pivoting, friction, I think I pretty well got it. Being that I have everything apart here, I thought it might be a good time to take some lanolin wax and spray down into the bottom seam. Because rainwater goes past your window as it rains, runs down, collects in the seam down there. Now there are drains at the back and front. Yeah, just front and back appears to be drains. But I'll spray some of this in. I don't know how effective it is. This is an old pickup, but I thought I'm this far, can't hurt to spray some of this in there. So I spray it right in the seam. Spray it heavy enough so it can soak down in. At least I hope it will. So I have some 1/4 inch by 1 inch long hex bolts, grade 5. Put this regulator back in with. Like I say, the 1 inch, 3/4 inch would have been much better. I may have to come back and cut these off because they'll likely contact the door panel. I can't use these same length in here because I can't actually get them in from behind because the motor overhangs the hole. Now had I put the bolts in before I reattached the motor, then they would have worked fine. But I just so happen to have some short screws, 1/4 inch, these are 1/2 inch or what they are, but I think I'll be able to get these in. Let's see. I should put these in before I turn the camera on. Alright, so I couldn't put the screw in the way I wanted to from the backside. Wasn't even enough clearance for that. So I had put the nut in from the backside. I put the nut in the box end part of the wrench, and then I put it down in there, lined it up the hole, and I was able to screw the screw in. I wasn't able to tighten it though, because once I tighten the nut, then I can't pull the wrench back out. So I had to leave it loose so I can pry the motor away slightly to get the box end out. So I got the nut started, come back in with the open end and I can tighten it. More trouble than it's worth, so I won't put a screw in this hole. Got the other ones tight. I'm using nylock nuts on these so they won't come loose. Same with this one, nylock on the back. Now I got to turn the power on, plugged it in, and I'll raise it. Moving on up. I have to get the glass lined up. I can pop it back in place, I hope. Just got glass lid back into the pocket here and in the front pocket here. Got the plastic off. I cleaned some adhesive off with some denatured alcohol so it won't stick on the weather stripping. Now I will give it a true test, see if it goes up and down. I'm all nervous. It works. What is this decal? Didn't know that was on there. Ford Motor Company, low emissions vehicle. What's that about? Marketing gimmick. Looks like I got some grease on the inside of the glass. Not surprising, I had grease all over my hands by the time I got the regulator back in the door. Yeah, so I got the glass cleaned off, so now I'll see if I'll go down. Watch the track, nothing unusual. I won't go any lower than that, just in case there's some reason why it gets so low and won't come up. I don't know, just a little paranoid. I don't know for sure why it didn't work. Okay, go back up again. It works, very good. See some more crap on the glass. Look how that thing, side panel bulges out when I go up all the way. Seems unusual. Is that proper? I don't know. This plastic is, I believe, what the auction yard put on it. Some really good stuff. Self-adhesive plastic. Really adheres well. Now I'll try that denatured alcohol, see if it'll take the rest of the adhesive from the tape off. Boy, this stuff, I put this white duct tape on. That's kind of nasty. At least didn't remove the pin stripping. I put insurance on the Supercrew today, Sunday, so taking it for a Sunday cruise. So all the gears work, brakes work good, it handles good, good power. Got a knob for the headlights now. Popped one off a parts truck.